Forget the trench warfare shown in daily reports. Right now, an invisible high-stakes economic war is raging hundreds of miles behind the front lines, and it's costing Russia billions of dollars. This isn't about capturing villages, it's about dismantling the foundation of Putin's war effort. For months, Ukraine has methodically scaled up its long-range drone program, and its targets are not just symbolic gestures. They are the literal economic and logistical backbone of the Russian military. We're talking about sophisticated precision strikes against oil refineries, port infrastructure, and military fuel pipelines designed to keep the entire invasion force mobile. This campaign represents a fundamental shift in the conflict. Experts estimate the financial damage is climbing into the tens of billions, forcing the Kremlin to divert immense resources, money, men, and defense systems, away from the battlefield to protect assets deep within Russia. This strategy exposes the core vulnerability of a massive, heavily industrialized war machine, its dependence on fuel, logistics, and continuous financial support. The question isn't if these blows will stop the war, but when the cost becomes unsustainable. What exactly is being hit, and why is every explosion translating directly into a multi-million-dollar loss? The answer lies in Russia's Achilles heel, its massive, sprawling oil refining capacity. Ukrainian Security Service, SBU, and Military Intelligence, HUR, confirm a systematic, relentless campaign targeting these facilities. Russia's infrastructure is not easily replaceable. Complex components and specialized technology needed for repairs are heavily restricted by Western sanctions, creating bottlenecks that stretch repair timelines from weeks to potentially many months. Each successful strike doesn't just damage a building, it takes millions of gallons of refined fuel, the jet fuel, the diesel for tanks, the gasoline for transport, completely out of the equation. This impact is far greater than crude oil sanctions, as it hits the product ready for military consumption. By reducing the available refined product, Ukraine forces the Russian military to rely on long-distance road transport from undamaged refineries, making supply lines slower, more expensive, and far more vulnerable to interdiction. This is a brilliant strategic move to degrade Russia's operational readiness. The most shocking recent attack proves that no military asset is truly safe, not even those positioned deep within the security perimeter of the Russian capital. Just days ago, military intelligence sources confirmed the successful disabling of the Koltsavoy military fuel pipeline network near Moscow. This wasn't a random hit. This 250-mile system was the primary artery for pumping refined fuel, gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel, from major refineries directly to crucial military bases and forward depots serving the invasion force. The fact that Ukrainian forces managed to simultaneously disable all three fuel lines in this operation represents a monumental logistical blow. It immediately eliminated a vital high-throughput method of supply, instantly forcing the Russian military to rely on high-cost, high-risk alternatives, primarily rail and vulnerable truck convoys. This strike serves as a chilling testament to Ukraine's evolving reach, placing immense pressure on the Kremlin to divert essential air defense batteries, needed on the front lines, to protect vital domestic infrastructure. While the West debates sanctions, these physical strikes are delivering a financial blow that Moscow cannot simply offset with new banking maneuvers. The consequences are now being felt by ordinary Russian citizens. The accumulated effect of these kinetic sanctions is staggering. Experts widely believe Ukraine has taken as much as 40% of the nominal capacity of Russian oil refining offline, an unprecedented disruption. This has triggered genuine domestic fuel shortages, forcing the Russian government to quietly impose fuel rationing in several regions. When the military has to compete with the civilian economy for increasingly scarce resources, it creates friction, inflates costs, and exposes the Kremlin's inability to protect its own home front. The higher cost of fuel and the sheer logistics required to replace the supply from the Koltsavoy pipeline are eating into Russia's budget at an alarming rate, translating directly into fewer funds available for troop pay, missile production, and equipment repair. This is true strategic warfare. The destruction is not confined to mainland pipelines. The maritime gateways that finance Russia's war are also ablaze. The Black Sea, crucial for Russian crude exports, has become a hot zone for Ukrainian drone and naval operations. Recently, major damage was inflicted on the Tuapse oil port on the Black Sea coast. This port is a primary outlet for Russian oil and refined products, funneling billions of dollars into the Kremlin's coffers. The attack caused massive fires, damaged key storage facilities, and temporarily halted export operations. By targeting these export terminals, Ukraine is directly impacting Russia's global revenue streams, the hard currency needed to procure foreign components for weapons manufacturing. When ports are disabled, oil shipments are rerouted at higher costs, causing bottlenecks and creating volatility in global markets. A direct financial hit that adds to the mounting expenses of sustaining the invasion. This campaign is a masterclass in attrition warfare. Ukraine isn't seeking a battlefield victory. They are pursuing the total exhaustion of Russian resources. The strategic goal is clear: overstretch and exhaust. By forcing Russia to pull its most advanced air defense systems, like the Panzer or S-400, away from the active front lines to guard distant, non-military assets like refineries and pipelines, Ukraine is creating dangerous vulnerabilities where they matter most. Every time Russia has to guard a refinery near Samara, they have fewer missile systems available to protect troops or command centers in occupied Ukraine. This creates an exponential advantage for Kyiv, allowing them to use low-cost, domestically produced drones to manipulate the deployment of Russia's multi-million-dollar defense infrastructure, achieving a remarkably favorable cost-exchange ratio. How can a nation with limited resources consistently strike hundreds of miles inside a nuclear power? The secret lies in Ukraine's ingenious, homegrown drone revolution. Kyiv has successfully prioritized the domestic development of long-range, easily concealable, and low-cost uncrewed aerial vehicles, UAVs, like the Lutyai. These systems, often assembled with commercially available parts, are now capable of striking targets well over 600 miles away, bypassing sophisticated air defenses designed to track larger aircraft or cruise missiles. This technological leap allows Ukraine to maintain the initiative, striking at times and locations of their choosing without risking fighter pilots or relying solely on limited Western supplies. This asymmetric capability turns the vastness of Russian territory from a defense advantage into a catastrophic liability, as every industrial target within range becomes a potential multi-billion-dollar vulnerability. While the explosions are far from the trenches, the economic destruction is having an immediate and brutal impact on the Russian soldiers fighting right now in hotspots like Pokrovsk. The loss of refined fuel means less diesel for tanks, less jet fuel for close air support, and less gasoline for rapid logistics and troop rotations. Every bottleneck and delay caused by a drone strike translates into slower Russian advances, fewer successful resupply missions, and a palpable decline in combat readiness. Soldiers in the field rely on a flawless supply chain, and when the foundational elements of that chain, the refineries and the pipelines, are broken, the entire operation grinds down. The true strategic victory of this drone war isn't the sight of a burning building, it is the quiet, daily erosion of Russia's ability to wage sustained, high-intensity conflict. As the severe Russian winter looms, the successful strikes on energy infrastructure present the Kremlin with an almost impossible zero-sum choice that will define the coming months. With refining capacity severely degraded, Russia must prioritize. Does it divert remaining fuel and energy capacity to keep its military operational, sustaining its offensive campaign? Or does it reroute those essential resources to prevent widespread blackouts and freezing in civilian areas, a potential catastrophe that could lead to domestic unrest? The sustained damage guarantees a difficult winter on the Russian home front, putting immense pressure on Putin's regime to explain why its vaunted military cannot even protect essential national infrastructure. This calculated pressure campaign aims to force Moscow to retreat not from military defeat, but from logistical and financial collapse. The evidence is now undeniable. Ukraine's long-range drone war is not a sideshow. It is the central strategy inflicting a billion-dollar blow that is changing the dynamics of the invasion. This targeted destruction of military supply lines and energy infrastructure signals a new phase where logistics and economics will determine the victor, not just troop numbers. Russia's capacity to continue its offensive is now directly tied to its ability to protect the assets we've discussed today, assets that are increasingly vulnerable. We are tracking a major geopolitical shift that could define the outcome of this conflict. Don't miss our next deep dive, where we analyze exactly which Western technologies are secretly powering Ukraine's drone revolution and how Russia is scrambling to counter this asymmetric threat. Click to subscribe right now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that urgent report.